Girl Who Could Count to Seven by Rodney Daut, illustrated by Martha Flores. There once was a girl who learned to count to seven. She was very proud of herself that she had learned to count to seven, and so everywhere she went, she liked to count the things that she saw. And she saw lots of sevens in the world to count. Oh, of course she would count ones and twos and threes, even fours, fives, and sixes, to be sure. But everything else was seven. If she looked at 100 sheep, she would exclaim, "Seven." If she saw 20 cows, she called out, "Seven." And always with great pride, too. And no one could get her to count above seven. Why, she wouldn't hear of an 8, a 9, or 100. All that was seven or above to the rest of the world was simply seven to her. Now this went on for quite a while, and at times it became very frustrating for her parents and other grown-ups who, try as they might, could not get her to count above seven. They might as well have been talking in another language. Not even her daddy, whom she loved very, very much, could get her to count above seven. Then one day, while walking in the garden with her father, and after having counted 7 great big trees, and 7 stepping stones, and 7 pretty little flowers, too, she stopped and with a look of great despair and amazement gazed at a bush that was simply covered with ladybugs. Why, there must have been over 1,000 pretty little ladybugs in that bush. She looked and stared, and she looked some more, until finally, with a look of utter hopelessness, she looked up at her daddy and said, "There sure are a lot of sevens in there." This was a sad moment for her, and although her father was a bit relieved that she finally understood that maybe, just maybe, there was something beyond seven in this world so full of things to count and understand, he too, though, felt just a little sad. After that day in the garden with her father, she began to learn about eights and nines and hundreds and so many other new and wondrous numbers that eventually she could hardly remember that she ever thought that seven was the largest number in the world. And later still, she forgot it altogether. But her father never forgot that once upon a time the world had been so very, very simple to one very special little girl. And he never forgot the day she lost that very simple view and began to learn about all the larger numbers and so many other wonderful things in the world beyond the number seven. But sometimes, when he was all alone, and looking back on those years so long ago, he couldn't help but to think fondly of those simple days and those simple ways when all was seven for one very precious little girl. And sometimes, just sometimes, he might even shed 7 little tears.